about the biofuel policy and how it has been all these years. So I would like to ask you a question that the government has set very promising ethanol blending targets. So how do you think that ethanol manufacturers and distilleries play a part?
Yes, because we have preponed, 20% blending from 2030 to 2025. So it is very ambitious by any stretch of imagination. Sugar industry is going to play a dominant role because if you look into the blending targets and the contribution of different sectors, by 2025, if today we look into the requirement of the ethanol, this is something around 10,000 million liters, precisely 1,016 crore liters.
Right.
And out of that, 55% of the ethanol is projected to come from the sugar industry feedstocks, and 45% through grains and other feedstocks. So that way, sugar industry has to play a dominant role. Sugar industry now do have the capacities. Over the years, we have built up the capacity. So capacity is not a problem. The only thing which we are looking for is about the feedstocks from the sugar industry. Because few things come into the picture to make it success. One is availability of the sugar cane, because you have to make sugar to meet the domestic requirement, and the additional sugar you can divert for making ethanol. Second thing is, the sugar cane availability and relative economics. Making sugar is profitable or making ethanol is profitable, because the corporates or any sugar unit or any sugar entity will look into the business model. So where they are going to have the more returns. But sugar industry is going to play a dominant role, significant role in making this EBP 20 or beyond that a success. So they have a role to play.
You are true on that for any business unit, the profitability does matter. And considering that aspect, looking at the current crop pattern, how do you see the feedstock availability and requirement to meet the current blending rate or achieve that ambitious goal?
Interesting question and difficult to answer, because this is a question of economics. The prices of the raw material, they keep on rising. Because if you look into the scenario, around a year back, the price of the maize was at rock bottom, 12 rupees a kg, 14 rupees a kg. And once you started making ethanol from the maize, the prices today are 24 rupees to 28 rupees a kg. So that has benefited the farmers, in fact. So that benefit has gone to the last man in the queue. But, because of that, you need a better price of the maize too. So, but in totality, if I assess the situation, what are the potential feedstocks for making ethanol? Number one will be the sugar cane, because we do have a fantastic policy, and hopefully the government is sensible enough to see that the prices are revised with the escalation in the prices of the sugar cane, particularly the fair and remunerative price.
Right.
Because that has been increased. So you have to cope up with that one also, and the government has to look for revision of the prices too. The prices of the molasses have also escalated in the open market, so that has to be compensated. So once we get the revision of the prices, I think sugar industry again is going to play a dominant role. Second, my best bet would be the maize, where now we do have an ecosystem. The government is also bullish on can we have more ethanol from the maize. We are working on different genotypes of the maize also. The only deterrent about the maize is the productivity, because if you look into the productivity across the globe, the average would be somewhere around 7 metric tons per hectare. Unfortunately, India, it is having around 3.6 metric tons per hectare. There are certain states which are having more than 7 metric tons per hectare.
Right.
So there is an dedicated institute, Indian Institute of Millet Maize Research, which is working on that one. So hopefully we are going to have, escalation in the productivities of the maize also. So sugarcane-based feedstocks, maize, these are the two promising feedstocks for the sugar industry and making ethanol. Wow. Then, comes the rice, whatever surplus rice we can get. But we cannot depend upon, or we cannot bank upon rice, because it will be a debate versus food versus fuel. My third, choice would be on any feedstock which is not going to invite any conflict between food and fuel. Okay. So anything like any feedstock, because today, I may talk about many such 2G, 3Gs and 4Gs. They're not the reality today because of the reasons that at what cost.
At what cost?
But there are certain potential feedstocks in the pipeline. They may be the sweet sorghum, they may be, something like cassava, or there may be something, we can talk about this sugar beet also. So depending upon the area where they can be cultivated, and they can be cultivated and they are farmers friendly also.
Right.
We can look for regional specific distilleries or the ethanol units working on different feedstocks. But definitely at the end of the day, I will say today the two promising feedstocks are going to be sugar industry based feedstocks, and secondly it is going to be the maize. But in future we have to look for the feedstocks which are more like 2G, 3Gs and the 4Gs. Not inviting any food versus food debate.
All right.